I see how that could work. Nice combination with Uther and Zagara in there.
Yeah, you get a good wombo combo there, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Especially for the Odin. If you can get to level 20, that big red button is going to be coming in.
Actually, I've not seen the big red button used like to a great extent where it really shifted games like that.
It does do a lot of damage, so it is possible.
It's true. But then again, in the end game, like most of the time, some team is just way ahead and then clears it off. Yeah. No matter what happens. But I'd love to see that combination.
All right.
So let's get started here. We are on Cursed Hollow. And our blue team on the left side, they are BARRELBOYS. And we have Bright winning in top lane. He's played by Blinks. Then Zeratul is played by McIntyre. We have CRS Fury on Stitches. And Trummel is playing Falstad.
And inside the base, hidden back there, we have Base Drop, who's not playing ETC, so that's disappointing. And on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, we have Evil Geniuses starting in the top lane. We have Idra, AFK on a horse, playing the Valor. We have Rusty on the Ufa. Faye is playing the Zagara. In the mid lane, we have Equinox as the Tychus. And in the bot lane, it is Mookie Pants as the Chen.
Mookie Pants, is he a stand-in for EG?
I do not know.
I'm sorry, I got the wrong screen set up. That's the right one.
Well done. So this is already a huge difference to what we see in the EU, with both teams instantly going to their lanes. We're not seeing any kind of early gank attempts by hiding in bushes and fights at the death brush here. We're seeing both teams head to their brushes, playing it safe, and just immediately going to get as much minion killing done as possible.
Yeah, and then again, you have EG going for a 3-player push here in top lane. Ooh, nice try here by McIntyre. But he needed to come up here, because they are pretty strong here with Zagara, Uther, and Vala in top lane. So they need 3 heroes as well to stop this onslaught.
Yep, we have Zagara with the extra minions, which is going to help them push the lane as it will hold back the wave. Vala's going to be killing off the wave, and Rusty is here for the sustain on that UFO. So this wave is going to be pushing pretty heavily, so this is why they now have 3 members up here for BARRELBOYS, and they're just going to try and clear this wave as much as possible. Brightwing getting out some good harass.
Yeah, she definitely does. And McIntyre with Abathar on his back can't stand his ground. And that's Pajamather, actually. Not Seaman on EU.
It is a lovely skin. Very nice to see. And this is just an intense battle here in this top lane. Both teams just dancing back and forth, looking for their opportunity to try and get it down. But EG are coming out very much ahead of this, because they're actually going to get a tower before the first tribute even spawns. And down it goes Rusty, not even caring that Zeratul's on him. Just going to tank it all. And they're going to get one time. They're going for the second.
This is massive for EG already. I mean, the problem is, BARRELBOYS, they don't really have a warrior up here. They need a warrior to stop this. Otherwise, they can't really engage into it.
Here, wasting his fly before the tribute spawns. A risky maneuver, but he is here to deal damage and help clear the wave. Brightwing headed down to the bot lane, which means that she will now be fighting Chen, which is not going to end too well for her. Not going to be able to get too much. Nice polymorph, though, to remove the shield on Chen and just get a bit of extra damage. But Brightwing's actually clearing this wave pretty well. In the mid lane, Tychus and Stitches showing each other the mutual respect they deserve, and neither one has really gone for anything yet. And there's a tribute. Very lucky for Trummel that he hasn't wasted his fly, as it is exactly in the lane he is at.
Yeah, a little bit lucky for him. And also a good position for EG. Oh, Faye doing a good job just clearing those mines there from Abathar, and she starts channeling immediately, but getting disrupted by McIntyre. And he's trying to find an angle here.
Yeah, McIntyre looking for his angle. There is Idra. Idra is the target here. Squishy, but they're actually going on to Equinox. Tribute has already been taken by EG, but Mookie Pants is in here. He is tanking it. It's Fury taking a lot of damage, being dropped very low. There's the Chen kick, and Chen and Valor are able to take it down. Equinox gets healed up by Rusty at the last second. He was being targeted by Trummel there. And EG take first blood.
Yep, and they're taking the first tribute as well. So nice little team fight for them here. Yeah, and it looks like we'll see a little shift in lanes now, which does make sense.
Yep, Idra was just harassed a bit by McIntyre, took a little chunk of health off. Idra, feeling good, he's going to head to the bottom lane and just start doing that damage. Idra is playing the volley build, So he's going to be the multi-shot build, sorry. So he's trying to get as much damage done over wide areas as possible. He's going to help push this lane very, very easily. It does mean, though, he's sacrificing any chance of lifesteal he would be getting from the Hungering Arrow or the Vampiric Assault talents.
Yeah, so he really relies on Uther to get that sustain up. And I like the idea here out of EG to just rotate the lanes and get that really good pushing squad into a different lane and just push again on these towers. Get these towers down, get the gates down, and just have an easier way into it later on, because that helps out massively for the curse.
Yeah, it's a fantastic idea. Second tribute has spawned. EG just giving this one away in exchange for the push they are currently getting in this bot lane. Zeratul is going to take that. Chen was thinking about heading down there to try and disrupt, but is going to leave it. Tychus actually going to get his team a little bit further ahead thanks to the fact that he was uncontested in his mid lane for a bit. But now Zeratul's here, he will soak up quite a bit of XP. But all of this is while EG continue to push super hard in this bot lane with Zagara, Vala, and Uther.
Yeah,
and
ammo is down on one of the towers. Second tower also completely out of ammo. So, yep, EG just going for the gates here. And then we'll get this one as well.
They rotate
so
to mid as well.
To the tribute slayer.
The hooks have not been landing for Fury, really struggling. Next tribute should be spawning quite soon. Once again, mid lane has been left completely abandoned in terms of XP. Luckily, none of the minions in it died. So McIntyre is actually going to be able to grab all this XP without losing any to the tower. So that is actually pretty good for him. Rusty was actually looking for a stun there in the bot lane. Try and get some damage done. In the meantime, Mookie Pants is still dueling Blinks. And it's actually not going that well for Mookie Pants. He's beginning to roam down as he expects the tribute will be spawning down here. And it is. This is once again good positioning for EG. They are ready. They already have 3 people down here, and Chen is already on the way. Equinox taking a bit of damage, does stun McIntyre. Mookie Pants, sorry, did that, and Equinox looking for the damage, but he was already slowed by the Singularity Spike. So they're going to head down here and grab this tribute, which
this
is pretty much
free
uncontested.
Tribute for EG.
Oh, good gorge though. The stun, the root though, by Mookie Pants. There is a strafe coming out by Idra, doing so much damage. Brightwing instantly popped, and nice shock and awe from Trubel, but he's getting Hungering Arrowed, taking a lot of damage, but he is going to survive. Idra is still alive in this. Mookie Pants jumping in as well to try and keep his team alive. Idra does go down. There's the ult from Mookie Pants to keep him alive, but he is going to have to escape. And that was a great fight by BARRELBOYS, doubling EG's kill count.
Yeah, but they need to make it count now. They need to get the boss right away because they lost the tribute. They won the team fight, but they lost out in the tribute, completely giving that up and just luring EG in there. But this does give them a little bit of time to get their boss. Shen not really realizing yet, and none of the other EG guys are getting into position to stop this. So they will go for their boss.
Realize or not, most of their team is still in their base. They can't really do much about it. They've only just respawned. They're now going to start heading down to this tribute. This is one they kind of need to get. They want that curse to get back the control of this game that they've kind of let slip from their fingers. However, teams are pretty much going to be both 12 by the time they get here. But while this is happening, Golem is going to push bot lane. They need to harass this. Rusty is actually being left pretty uncontested here. And he does get interrupted by Brightwing. But here's the strafe again by Idra, doing so much damage. Trouble being forced to back up fully, and Faye is in the back. She's going to grab that tribute, and that will be the first curse over to Evil Genius, and they're going to move straight over to this Golem.
Yeah, they're going to deal with the Golem just really quickly, and then switch lanes, because they have top lane already pushed in quite well. They have had the towers already taken care of, gates taken care of, so I'll see that they get at least a fort out of this, possibly two.
They're going to go for this fort, take it and take it down. They have been slowed down a bit due to the fact they did have to kill that Golem. And in the meantime, we are going to see BARRELBOYS do what I like, a move that I really like here. They're just going to try and counter push here. Their top lane is not pushing, and they still have a surviving giant up here. There's not much ammo in this top lane, so Zeratul dancing up here with Abathur, they're going to do as much damage as possible.
Yeah,
EG
really nice
have
idea
now
to have
rotated
Abathur
from
on
that
the
bot
giant.
Yep, EG have rotated from bot lane, which they've already taken down the fort. Going to try and get mid lane fort. They do have some bruisers to deal with here, but they are 5. There's the ultimate evolution onto Falstad. We could see a shock and awe. It is up to try and kill off some of the members of EG, but EG played it safe, back it up. But there's the Gorge onto Chen. He does have a wall he can kick to try and use it to escape. There's the nice Void Presence. There's shock and awe, but it's too late. The ult was popped by Chen, and everyone's getting into that Void Prism. The EG are now just going to back up to safety. Rusty is taking a lot of damage. There's the second shock and all. There's the strafe coming out from Valor. But Emerald dodges the Emerald Wind, is able to survive. And no deaths from either team. We got very close on both sides, but no deaths at all.
Just played this really safe. And unfortunately, Fury just kind of wasted his hook there, because Uther wasn't really that far away, and he could have used it on later on and probably taken him out. But at least they did survive the curse, only lost a single fort. And even pushed top lane a little bit, as you pointed out.
Yep, EG were thinking about going for their golem there, but instead rotated down to Death Rush and are now trying to catch out Fury. Fury taking a lot of damage. Mookie gets hooked in again. He's really dropping low. He's polymorphed. Oh, Brightwing takes him out. There is the Devouring Maw, though. Gets only Brightwing, but they don't really have a follow-up to this. Grenade hits only Trummel. And EG lose one member for 0. And once again, kills still going in favor of BARRELBOYS. Rusty is being chased, able to dodge the hook. They're taking a lot of damage from Trummel. Trummel's now caught out of position, though. He goes down to the grenade. McIntyre has already blinked out. Fury is being chased down by Rusty. Abathur's on his head to do some damage, but he does go down. And EG instantly turning it around, and they will now get this mid fort.
Amazing turnaround for them here. They caught up in XP now as well. They will get the fort. And that does give them a nice boost as well. They could be rotating up as well. Maybe try to get the top fort. Only Abathur's in there, and he needs to watch out. I mean,
they're rotating up to defend their own.
Yeah, exactly. Firstly. They're rotating for defense. So we'll take care of those minions, and then possibly have a little bit of time left to go for their boss. But McIntyre is in position. He knows what's up. Sees Fire is already moving over there, and can point out whenever they're going for the boss.
Yep, and they are going to do it. We see almost the entirety of BARRELBOYS is now on the way. Stitches is a bit far out. He might get there in time, but this boss is dropping quite quickly, already at half health. Stitches is about halfway there, though. He may make it in time as long as, unless EG can just focus this down super quick. But Stitches is now here. Needs to land the Hail Mary hooks in order to have a chance. Brightwing needs to get in there, and then Emerald's Wind to blast out EG so that they can get it. And EG attempting to reset the boss so that they can have a chance to fight here. But here comes Tychus from the other side, and they have completely blocked out the rest of BARRELBOYS. Nice Void Prism!
Yeah, Void Prism not doing that badly here, and Blink's almost taken out there, but
Void Prism basically, Zeratul just screwed his own team with that Void Prism. Blinks was going for the interrupt on that Golem and the Emerald Wind to try and blast it out, but he got locked down, and you still capture the Golem if you are locked in a Void Prism, and we already saw members of Evil Genius in there, so they were able to take that. So Golem was taken by EG, they got a kill onto Brightwing, who was locked in by her teammate, and EG are going to take the third fort of the game.
Yeah, and they also grabbed the Tribute in the middle of this. So that's the Tribute, fort, and the boss going to them. Can't really get all that much, all that worse for BARRELBOYS right now.
Yep, this is not looking good. They were looking so good up to this point, but they are now seriously struggling. They are falling behind. They are currently just about a level behind, and we're seeing EG immediately going to move to this mid lane, clear it out, and then possibly head down towards BARRELBOYS' boss. And that looks like what they're going to try and do. Tribute might spawn here soon, but they're going to look for it. There it is. There is the Tribute. They can abandon that if they want to in favor of this boss. BARRELBOYS is here, so it looks like we're going to see a fight.
Yeah, not everyone out of EG is in position, but they're trying to lure them out. Just showing Shen there and Zagara as a single target.
Yeah, oh, the Death Rush is
looks
here.
Like BARRELBOYS
Double
are going
stitches.
for it.
Curse hooks, Equinox. There's the strafe from Idra doing huge amounts of damage to Blinks. Blinks is dropped solo. He is able to shield himself. The double Hunter Killer from Faye, though, instantly takes down Blinks. Base drop is picked up as well. Equinox completely fine in there. Down goes Fury, and it is just trouble. And McIntyre left alive again. There is nothing they can do to contest this boss. EG will grab this, and their best chance now is Trummel, if he has fly up, flying to the top and grabbing that Tribute. But
yeah,
I don't
like
think
this
he has
contest coming out of Trummel. He should just fly up, grab the Tribute. That would give him 2 Tributes, and that would force a team fight out of EG for the next...
He probably doesn't have it, though. That is the issue. And, like, he's currently still just trying to contest it. It looks like they might try to dive in. Zeratul diving in, then diving straight back out again.
Oh, nice Void Prism and a good shock and all.
You do not grab it when you're in Void Prism.
Yeah, he should have waited a little bit.
Strafe almost catches McIntyre. He's able to back up. But EG do grab the boss, and now we're going to see them head up. They will grab this Tribute, and then they will deal with these Siege Giants in the top lane. The Siege Giants, though, were able to take down the first of EG's forts.
Yeah, so they caught up a little bit in XP, also got their level 16 talents up, so let's check those out. We have Criterize on Brightwing, Locust Brood on Abathur, Pulverize on Stitches, and Double Bombs for Zeratul, Overdrive on Felstad, and the Brood expansion for Zagara. Then Stone Skin is picked up by Tychus, Blood for Blood on Valor, Utherturk, Harden, Focus, and Combination Attack for Shen, of course. But a little bit different talent choices here. You think so?
Yeah, very similar to the EU scene here. Like, for example, Zeratul, very standard. With Gathering Power, you definitely want to be taking the double bombs. But an interesting pick, taking the damage over time on Cleave, rather than the staying stealthed and extra range, which is something that some players seem to favour, but seems to be working for him. He is dealing a lot of damage in this game. He currently has 34 siege damage. Not able to get that all onto heroes, though. He can't really harass without being countered on because he does not have that continuous cloak.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of iffy on Fury right now, because usually when his hooks did land, they were kind of like short-range hooks. Those hooks that don't really help out all that much.
So not taking Fishing Hook is actually kind of a weird move, but the stun is much more important in this scenario due to the fact that there is a Valor on the other team. Oh god, Death Brush. Death Brush, there's the kick! Is able to catch up to Fury. Nice Void Prism though! Fury is separated out here, but he's pretty fine. There's the ult from Uther, there's the strafe. Fury taking a lot of damage. Blinks is probably dead. McIntyre, nice positioning here. He's able to blink back in though, but gets himself killed by doing so. Abathur's the only one alive. EG, full wipe, and somehow Tychus lived that in his Odin. He has pretty much full health once he is out of this thing, but he's going to use it while he can, and just do as much damage as possible. Abathur sending the Locust after him to do the damage, and they're just going to dive this. They got the tribute. They're going to dive this. Try and catch Abathur. Can they get him?
Abathur's in trouble.
There's the kick. Down he goes. And we will see
nice
EG.
Body block by Shen, and they will get a keep here, and possibly even end the game. There's still 20-second timer on Stitches, and I don't think that BARRELBOYS can really fight here without Stitches. So EG just gonna dive this.
They can't fight at all they're all dead, and even with the respawn timers, it's gonna be difficult. EG might actually win before this happens. The curse is still active. There's the strafe, clearing the minions, doing damage to the core. They're just gonna keep wailing on this. Stitches is alive. They're trying to do it, but it is too late. Faye is in the back with the Hunter Killers, and they do take it. Chen just ran straight through the core. He doesn't care. And EG takes the first game, and they will move on to the next round.
Yeah, and Idra with his strafe, like, he was never interrupted. So much damage. 70,000 damage, siege damage, and 50,000 hero damage. That is just massive.
Yep, fantastically well played there by Evil Geniuses. And let's have a refresh of the bracket. Let's see what else is going on.